Good morning.
Morning.
Morning. Good morning,
Holly,
Jamie.
it's nice to see you. Are you feeling better?
I think I'm going to live. Thank you.
That sounded rough.
It was not fun.
Mm.
How
Good
you
morning.
doing?
Hey, Sharon.
I'm doing great. Nice to see you all.
Morning, Sharon.
Good morning.
What would you like to know about Charlie and Sharon Oliver?
Sorry, this is Carla. I'm just listening in today, but I do have a couple of comments for later, whenever that's allowed. I'll mute myself in the meantime.
Let's see what I've got going on here.
Gordon's on, Jamie's on, Sharon's on, Bruce, Mayor Holly, Karen, Carla. That's who's on at present.
Good morning, Sharon.
Good
It's good to
morning.
see you.
Thank you. Nice to see you.
Morning, Bruce.
Morning, Mayor. How are you?
I'm going to live, I think.
That's a good thing.
If I step away, it's because I'm coughing, y'all. It's not because you're boring.
Holly, you had the crud?
COVID, yes, ma'am.
Oh, again? Oh, my
Uh-oh.
Yeah, it was really a fun Christmas.
Hey, Sharon. Okay, it was jumping around. Okay.
Good morning, Jason. I
Good
see you
morning, how are
made
you?
it. I see you made it safely.
I did. Yeah, we're,
Jason, how do I get the screen? I've got to see the video. Somehow I'm not on the,
you've got to give yourself permission to be to the video.
let me see. Start
made you late.
video. Okay.
Here you
There
are.
Okay.
Sharon,
Gordon.
Sharon,
Morning, Jim. Morning, Jim.
Sharon, you
Good
may want
morning.
to log out, log back in. Your video is very,
Sketchy.
yeah,
Yeah.
it's going back and
Okay.
forth. I'll let you back in if you want to log out.
I think Sharon looks like she's having a seizure.
I don't know if she's on the old laptop or the new laptop, but we just got her.
Ah,
She was using.
Morning,
an old-
Roberta.
Good morning. I thought I was at the disco.
morning, Jim. Good to see you.
Morning.
Okay.
Bless you.
Thank you.
Let's see.
So Holly, you're feeling poorly?
Ed and I had COVID.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Are you doing better?
Ed's a whole lot better. I'm still coughing my lungs out, but other than that, I'm okay.
Oh, okay. Well, I hope you feel better.
Thank you, ma'am. I know you've been there, done that.
Yeah. Don't do it again. Price was enough.
Amen. Amen.
Is Roberta on yet? Any of the
Yes,
club?
I'm here, Gordon.
Oh, good morning, Roberta. How about here?
I'll go ahead and myself as host, Gordon, Holly, iPhone. I'm not sure who iPhone is. Sharon, Bruce, Jamie, Jim, Karen, and Carla Stalls. I'm not sure who iPhone is, but
Great. So we have a quorum.
it should, yes.
Okay. All right, is
Well,
Karen?
we're missing Paul. Is that who we're missing?
Oh, okay.
Paul and Harry.
Paul and Harry.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're not on yet.
Okay, we just have to wait a moment. I wonder if someone could call Paul. Does anyone have
And
Paul's
Doug,
number?
we're missing
Bruce?
Doug too.
Doug's not going to be on this meeting.
Oh,
He was,
Yes,
I think he's traveling.
I did have Doug part of the meeting and That would be, we have a shorter meeting and we had nothing to add, so I did not include him in the agenda. So, Bruce, would you mind calling Paul? Do you have his number?
Let me see if I can reach him.
Okay,
Okay.
thank you. And then we'll get on with it.
I'm constantly monitoring participants, so if anybody requests to log on, I'll let them in ASAP.
Jason, this is Roberta. I'm probably iPhone because my
Okay.
iPad not working this morning, so I'm on my phone.
Yep,
Okay,
that's
yeah.
you.
Okay,
So you can call me iPhone if you want to.
You've been called worse, Roberta, I'm sure.
Absolutely.
So how was the Christmas for everyone?
Great.
Oh.
Busy.
Yes,
No
you were in Augusta, Jamie? You celebrated,
Say that again, Gordon?
all right, were you in Augusta? Were you out of town for,
Yes, I was part of the time out of town with my younger son and his family that are in Augusta
okay, good.
when I accidentally called you.
Yeah, right, okay, it was a nice call. And
Mhm.
Roberta, weather down in Florida, did you get the cold? Obviously not as cold, was it close
Oh,
to
it
freezing?
was. It was horrible. We got down into the 30s, but we're on the up.
Yeah.
Come Saturday, it's supposed to be close to 80.
Well, I hope you got back in time, Roberta, to get our -3-degree weather.
Oh, no,
Oh.
no, I'm not coming back for that weather.
Great. Well, I'm up in.
The weather, the weather's
Okay, I have to get that. But he's gonna join Joe Gordon.
Let me know, when he's on. That was a pleasant surprise. Holly, have you had many calls for frozen pipes and et cetera, et cetera? How's that done in terms of Sky Valley?
Not too many, and it was in a couple of people's homes, so I am so sorry for everybody who had that.
Hmm.
I did.
Oh,
You
kidding?
did?
Oh,
Yeah.
no.
Lord, I'm sorry, Bruce.
Was
But
it in?
Florida was nice.
Oh, my goodness. Bruce, what's it at?
I don't remember it ever being this cold before.
Mhm.
Do you all?
I do because I've been here 43 years, but
Oh,
it used to be this cold and we used to get deep snow.
yeah. You saw it like in the below 0
Oh,
degree?
yeah. Oh, yeah.
Okay. Well, since I've been here, that was the coldest.
Mhm.
Hmm.
I
And don't
moved
want
here
it
in
again.
1979.
Oh, that's before I was born, Jamie.
I know. Holly.
Yeah.
All on, Jason?
no, nobody is requesting. I'm watching it though.
Hmm. Are we close to, do we have a quorum to start the meeting?
You do.
Oh, we do? Okay. If we do.
If you want to go
great.
ahead and begin, I will let participants come in as they show up.
Yeah, I like to start the meetings on time. And again, good morning. And everyone had a wonderful Christmas, cold Christmas, but it was for us and friends, family, it was a wonderful Christmas, being around family. I guess we'll start off the meeting. First of all, Jason, if you could introduce, of course, our new communication specialist, please.
Yes, good morning. Good morning, everybody. I'm pleased to introduce Sharon Van Camp. Sharon started last week, and we are very excited that she's here. I was going to ask her to just take a few seconds and kind of give a brief bio, but she has hit the ground running, and I'll talk some more about some of the things she's going to be doing later on in the meeting. So Sharon, again, glad you're here. And if you'll just take a moment and kind of tell everybody about yourself.
Certainly. I am so glad to be here.
Obviously, I've mentioned at the party we had that I am from Texas, lived in Texas all of my life. However, we've been visiting Sky Valley probably close to 10 years. So every time we came, we stayed in Sky Valley and we just loved it. So we bought a home here about 2 years ago. We have moved here permanently and we are so excited to be here. We moved here because my daughter, her husband, and our granddaughter live here. So we're so excited to be close to them. I'm married. My husband is D. I think some of you met him at the party we had. As far as my background, I got my undergraduate degree from Stephen F. Austin State University and my master's degree from UT Tyler. Taught 20 years and have been a school counselor for 9 years. So my background may not reflect necessarily a lot of marketing, but I do believe I have the creative ability, the diligence, and I am such a hard worker. I'm happy to be here and work with each of you and do all that I can to promote Sky Valley.
Sounds
Nice.
great.
Thank
Yes,
you.
wonderful. Thank you. Thank you for that. We'll be looking forward to working with you, Sharon, this year.
Thank you very much.
Things to do. Thank you. Okay, next item on the agenda was approval of minutes. We didn't approve the October 27th meeting minutes. That was, so first I'd like to see, have you had a chance, any changes or additions to October 27th meeting minutes? If not, do I hear a motion that we approve the October 27th meeting minutes?
Gordon, having read the minutes and finding them satisfactory, I move that we accept the minutes.
Thank you, Jim. Is there a second?
I second.
Second.
Very good. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Very good.
Aye.
Minutes approved. We'll go into the December 1st meeting minutes. There again, are there any additions or changes to the meeting minutes? Okay, do I hear a motion to approve the meeting minutes?
So moved.
Do I hear a second?
Second.
Very good. All in favor, say aye.
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 Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, we'll go right into it. I guess this is going to be a little shorter meeting. We've consolidated the agenda. So first thing we'll do is we'll talk about website update. At this point, would you talk a little bit about what's happening in terms, Jason?
Yes, yes, Gordon, again, so glad that Sharon is here. One thing I want to add about Sharon before I get into the website is that I'm talking with her being a school counselor for years and years. Parents can be some of the toughest people to deal with. So I'm sure she is used to going toe to toe with folks. So I'm sure she'll fit in right in here. But now that Sharon is here, she spent a good bit of last week just kind of familiarizing herself, acclimating herself with the websites, 2 websites. We have found a few broken links on the Visit Sky Valley. And so she's actually going to be working with Mike Lawson this afternoon. Mike, as you know, and Ron Lawson Media, we have partnered with them. And so she is taking the baton with this and wide open, taking the website going. So we're so excited. We've got the base there to build this right. I mean, it's already built, but she's already finding things. She's already uploaded some stuff to the city website. So I'm glad that she's going to take that. So I think you're going to see some great things going on in the next, hopefully 30 days with the website. And that's kind of where we're at, because as you all know, it's kind of been in, I don't say life support, but hadn't a lot been going on with it until Sharon got here. So we're grateful that she's here. And so that's where we're at with it. But I think once she gets meets with Mike today, you'll see a lot of changes going on very quickly.
Thank you. That's fantastic. Jamie, I guess you guys will be working together with Sharon on that, Jason?
Yes.
Yes.
And we actually will probably need to get that hard drive back as well of those photos, so we can start getting those put in the proper place on the websites as well.
I'll drop that by. Have you gotten the very last ones from Steve?
I have not received anything new from Steve. I do know he has a lot of photos, but we are ready to receive those whenever he's ready to provide.
Okay.
Yeah, that would be the next item on the agenda, in terms of, we can talk Steve very, what we do with him and so forth. Do we have him send it, the hard drive? Do we have him send him a new one? Or I guess at this point, Sharon, give it a chance to digest it. Steve has the videos and from several visits, and do we take the hard drive that we have and send it to him to add it on, or I don't see how you want to do that. So it's sort of been in limbo what we want to do. So we have them, and how do we get it to us?
Okay.
Jason, any comments on that at all? I know we said it was sort of in limbo until Sharon's been here for a while, discuss how we want to do it.
I can reach out to Steve and even Doug, just to let him know that we have somebody here. I know we even talked about trying to upload them to some type of Google Drive.
Right.
So we're looking at every option now. So yeah, we're I told Sharon the other day that she's really fixing to hit the ground running with a lot of this stuff. So now that she's here, we're going to, I'll reach out to Doug and Steve and let them know we've got somebody here, and let's just start getting this stuff going.
Yeah, we didn't see it necessary for him to purchase another hard drive at this point. And good. That was the decision. That very good. I guess the item would be photo videos of Steve Denver to shoot for the Sky Valley, photo for the photo gallery. At this time, I'll update on that. We're waiting for snow unless we have something else. Steve contract goes through, middle of next year. Essentially, we paid him up to date, but and at this point, we're looking for snow photos. And I said during the last time that I would be the major contact. So if we get snow when it happens, I thought maybe earlier this year we might, last couple of days we get some snow. So in terms of looking at that, in terms of getting our photo gallery, we need snow photos, and really important on that. Do you have any other comments in terms of other photos? I know, Jamie, you've talked about it before, photos, more individual photos. Any other comments on that?
No, we have some really good and talented photographers here. So it would be nice if we could have, some of those people on site, if we could use their photos. And I know some actually do that and sell their photos, so that might cost us, or the really quality ones, the ones that do professional kind of photos. What do you think, Holly?
I agree. We've got several photographers here in this area that are wonderful.
Yeah, when we're talking, looking at the budget, you'll see that we have some items there for that, and we'll be discussing that. But what I want to do now is, Steve, with Steve, is any way we can use him in terms of, the opportunity going out. We paid him, and so what can we do to use him in terms of get some of them? But we'll discuss some of the options in terms of photos during our budget process.
So did his contract, it actually ended with this month, this year, but he's still lacking in the
contract.
the snow.
Yes, we paid him to the end of the year, but he still have a contract through the end next year. We talked about it. That contract was a year contract, and it's somewhere, I think somewhere in May.
So okay.
Yeah, but he essentially wanted to get together. He was essentially saying a year contract, but the photos he was obtaining, he said what he would do in videos, but one of the areas we're still missing that he said he would get is photos, winter photos. And he's gotten pretty well everything else, so that having him do other things, if something would come up, a group gathering, we could have him come in. But essentially, his contract extends through a year to May, but main activities would be the winter scenes.
Okay.
Any comments?
He is fully paid. He has been fully paid. So.
Yes, he has been fully paid. Yes, and that was part of his contract. Holly, any comments on that at all?
Okay, I'm confused. His contract is over when?
His contract is over. Let me look at his contract. I think the contract. When did he sign his? I think he signed the contract in May after the budget. When did we approve the budget? In May? At that point.
Yeah, the budget was approved around May. I believe it was a year contract. His payment schedule was
Yes,
3,200 initially, and then I think
yes.
after 90 days, it was 3,200 more, and then the final balance of 1,600 was paid in December or this month. And then he had some incidental fees as well that were added to it. So, but regardless, I know he is, after several conversations with him and with Doug, they are planning to come up and get snow photos.
Here's, I've got the contract in front of me here. It says in terms of the agreement shall control, Porter shall use commercial reasonable effort to complete the services by December 31st, 2022, with client knowledge that some of the services may be completed as reasonably necessary in 2023. Porter agrees to provide all equipment, such and etc. So in terms of timing, he was trying to get everything through. Here we go. This agreement between Steve Dimberg and the City of Sky Valley Club client as of 13th of May, 2000, shooting start May the 24th, 2022. Whereas climate comments on the, yeah, so it'd be May the 24th.
So his contract, Gordon, is over, but he will honor his promise to take snow pictures. Is that what I'm getting?
Right, the contract goes through the end, through May of 2023. So the contract was a year contract, although we said we would pay him by the end of the year. So his contract was to be paid by December 31st. Although he said in terms of the contract, yes, he would try to get all of the activities completed this year. If it went over 2023, he would do that. In this case, it would be snow pictures.
How about the videos that he has promised us?
The videos, he has plenty of the videos. He has videos of all the last 4 activities, the 4 visits he's been here. He has those, and you essentially have to get the videos. In this case, to Sharon.
So if his contract goes through May.
That's correct.
That's what I'm hearing. It goes through May. So he's going to do snow, but what if there's an activity up here, the club or a gathering or something? Will he come back for that?
Yes, at this point, we have some gathering. I think he should honor those. In this case here, if there was activity, I'll ask him to come up. Because that one of the activities we wanted to get was club activities, social activities. They've already laid it out. So there are activities here. One of them we went in terms of Christmas or something like that. So we need, we had one of the activities we wanted to do was social activities, lots of people involved, especially younger people. So yes.
We didn't actually get any Christmas photos with the tree or the decorations or anything like that, did we?
No, we asked the possibility it could be up for New Year's, but no, that's a possibility. I could ask him on that.
Okay.
So we have his services through May 24th.
That is correct.
Okay.
Yeah, yes, but he wanted, the request was from him in the contract that we get everything finished in 2023. But the only thing we couldn't do was the snow pictures because we never had them. Now, if something would come up, such as a club activity, we could ask him to do that. We'll see what happens.
So like at the St. Patrick's Day golf tournament, would that be something included since he goes through May, or?
I would say that would not be only because we've already had that contracted this year. You said to get all those done, but I can ask him to do it.
Okay.
I know it's a little it's open. We're trying to get it last year. We were trying to get all the activities finished 2022. But his contract goes through, you know, the activities. And I know it seems a little confusing, but I think most activities he's asked over repeatedly, we get things done and schedule as much as we could during that period of time. But I could ask him, it's open, could he do that? And if we cannot, if whatever it is, we do have options in terms of, you'll see in our budget. Open.
So to get back to our original question, Gordon, we were talking about local photographers. Do we need to think about asking a local photographer to take care of some photos for us, since you have that in your budget?
I have the budget, yes, if it's approved, yes. I think that was an option we have. I have $1,000 that I put in there. It estimated that we might have maybe 2 visits during the year. We will need a photographer and have someone local. Yes.
Okay.
I think it would be nice to show the club and with decorations and people in it, because that's an activity, and that's gonna end, you know, at the end of next week. That's over.
I can ask him again. We've asked him repeatedly. You know, I've asked the committee. I'm not paying, but we've trying to get this down. We have a very long list of items for him. He's open. I just need to get those things scheduled. So in this point, but I can ask him in this case here, because he's been open to, you know, look, suggestions, what we need, and we've sent him these issues we wanted as it changes along. But I agree, having maybe photos of the club, I'm open to that. So I'll ask him that.
I'm not sure I understand why his contract goes another 5 months, say, into next year, but he won't, everything is supposed to be done now by December. I don't understand that 5-month period.
Essentially, going back, it was a 2-year contract. And the first contract you had in 2021 is that we had all the items you wanted them to do, and not all of it could be finished. And so at this case here, what he wanted to do is not, in terms of scheduling, based on the original contract, he said he'd get all of these various items done and have it done over a period of 2 years. And then 1 year, but then 1 year, but then it went to 2 years because we could only do half of his contract in terms of dollar amounts.
So basically, he's just completing the list of things that we ask.
Yes.
It's not a spontaneous show up for
Yes.
something else.
Yes. And as you recall, earlier this year, we tried to identify the items we wanted and then systematically go through that and make sure. We said it really wasn't original content. There really wasn't enough definition of what we wanted. It was just open. We left it up to him, and there wasn't a lot of assignment to do. And so this year we said, we made a list. Here's the things we wanted done during this period of time. And so it was more open, more direction to what he should be doing versus letting him doing it. If I'm making sense, meaning that, well, we just let him do it. He was doing his thing. And this time around, during the second part of his contract, we made the list of things we wanted him to do. And so it was more defined what he wanted. And he did all those things, except in this case, the winter pictures. And he said he would like to have in his contract, looking at it, he wanted to have it all finished by the end of the year. But I can ask him again, if there's something comes up that we feel we didn't get finished during the time, I can ask him if he could do it.
I know we have a couple of photographers here in Sky Valley. I think Jan DiCostello is good. Moody Barrick takes wonderful drone photos. So maybe we can start talking to them.
I think that, yes, I think we should. And I got just a general idea of what they would be charging from the last time they were in. She, when we did the Fall Fest, an idea what she would charge. And so that's how I came up with the $1,000 as in possibly 2 different visits in terms of having a photographer come in.
Well, do we want to ask one of them to take the Christmas pictures that Jamie was talking about? Gordon?
No, no, I don't think it's this time. We don't have the budget money for that at this time. So I'm just thinking of next year. I'll ask, in this case, you're Doug and then Steve, if they could do that. Let me handle that and if we could do it. So we don't have, in this case here, we don't have the money for it, the budgeted for that. So I will, if we have, in this case here, the photos that Jamie would like, I can ask Steve if he would do it. And he probably will. He's been open to us when he would do those things. So I'll ask him if he could do it. If he can't, I don't see a local photographer coming at this time because we simply don't have the budget for it.
I know Moody has done stuff for us, Gordon, for free. I'm not suggesting that we ask him to do that, but I don't think he would nickel and dime us to death. I don't think so.
That's great. I think now with Sharon on, of course, one of the big issues with videos and Sharon has been the quality we wanted, and then taking these videos and do we have the quality necessary? Then we use them for other things in terms of media, as Jamie is so aware of. It has to have a certain quality in it. And we've had a lot of our wonderful Sky Valley people that would like to send us it, but we didn't know where to send it, how to store it, and it was quite of a mess. So we said we had to have a certain quality standard that we wanted to take it on. So I guess looking at, we're going down the right street. I'd love to have local videos of local photographers. We had no cost. So Sharon, you wanted to when to get into it and say, do we have the right quality? So publication, say we can use it. You know, the quality is there. Maybe Jamie, you could add to this in terms of, you know, the quality of videos and photos. You know,
Okay.
when you can talk.
Once we
Well-
establish a Google Drive or wherever we decide to store these things, it'd be great if we could just have like a shared drive where people could upload those and they're all stored in one space with the videos, the photos, whatever it may be, then the quality, of course.
Yes, right. We simply haven't had that, and you know, what we could do with it. So that's one of the majors where to do it. We have all this now, and what do we do with it? Yes.
Unless we go with a server hard drive for Sharon, but that stuff we'll have to work out.
Well, this is Carla Stahl. I had left messages for Jason about this. And I have a possible solution to that because, you know, in my business, I am a photo organizer and I do help people store their personal and business photos and documents and all. And there is a solution to this that is more reliable than Google. Of course, we do want our own backup. You always have that. That's kind of a universal standard, but I can elaborate that with Sharon, you know, after this call. It's not worth taking up everybody's time here. I could go over that with her and you know, they can make decisions. So it's a one-time payment. You're not having recurring charges. There's no annual fee to maintain it. And it's full resolution storage. So you don't lose anything. As long as whatever quality the video and the photo is when it goes in is the quality that you always get. And it's very shareable. So there's a lot of detail that I can go into with Sharon following and whoever else following this call or at another time. So.
Yeah, that would be wonderful in this case here. It is, how do we share when the question comes up, if we have a professional services, is that the property of the committee? Is that Holly has talked about, or is this something that we would want, or is that the property of everyone involved, that taxpayer in terms of?
Well, it's very, you know, platform. It's not something that would be thousands of dollars. That would have to be, I mean, it depends on the size of the total account that you want, but you know, to start with, you would start small and it's very minimal. It's not something I think it could be handled out of the marketing committee's budget, at least initially. And the only additional charges are if you add more space. And it's easily shareable by either a link or actually QR codes, which are the thing now. Those are those little boxes of weird looking black, lines, if anybody's not familiar, on everything now. And people scan those and then it takes them right to whatever you want them to see on that particular document. And they can be, customized for exactly what you're trying to hear. So I'll go into all that with Sharon. I can call her after the meeting and set up a time. Today may not be good for her or whatever, but it can easily be done. And she can discuss. And then,
Carla, is this a cloud storage
it
technique?
is. It's a permanent cloud storage, and the difference is that permanent. Once you purchase it, it's there, and there's some guarantee funds to back that up. So I'll talk about it with anybody who wants to know more, but I just wanted to put that out there and then not waste the committee's time going into a lot of detail.
That sounds good.
Yeah, it's a lot of information that not that everybody has to have right this minute. So
Great.
okay.
Jamie, you have any comments on that, since you were involved in a lot, trying to research photos, example for publications?
Yeah, I think, I think what Karen has sounds real interesting, and but that's what we need to look for, is something that we can access, store, and that we're not passing a hard drive back and forth. It's going to get
Right.
full. We're going to need two. We're going to need a, bunch of it. We just need it to be accessible to those that are working on it.
Right. And as we have future, Carla, photos, videos that come in, and when you get them in from a professional photographer, whoever you use, once they get it, they look at the quality and then where they store it. So we have access to it.
Right. It's very accessible by anybody who is given permission to access it. So, and they could all funnel through Sharon, and it's just a click of a button to upload. It really depends on upload speed, but it's not very easy. It's very simple, but it's very manipulatable. So you have lots of choices with it.
Great.
So,
Carla, is the organization of this cloud drive, is that up to us or up to you, or?
Well, yes, ideally it would be up to someone on the staff, but that's what I do for a living. I do charge for that by the hour. I would give the city a discount, but I don't really think that we're going to have the volume of photos that would require that. I think it's something Sharon can easily do, because once you learn it, it's not complicated. And people do it for their thousands and thousands of customers do it for their own personal, and I can demonstrate all that with her over Zoom, but I don't think you would need me to administrate it. I'm certainly happy to help, but it's not something that you could require a professional to maintain. So
Right. So she could put photos in named files and all that stuff. Okay.
Correct. Organized into albums,
Okay.
tags, very, very, customizable.
I've got a question.
Sure.
This is Paul, not Trudy. I'm using her computer. But your current videos that are on your websites, are they stored in Vimeo or some other storage area that we already have a contract for, or is that the responsibility of a webmaster that you have in place?
Right now, any videos that we have are just stored on YouTube or either the hard drive. Sharon, you're kind of de facto becoming our webmaster as well. So we're getting there. But pretty much everything that we have right now is YouTube based. That's out there for people.
Yeah.
Okay.
In other words, I think we have a long way to go to get to where we need to be.
Yes, Sharon, we've been kicking the can down the road here because we already had answers to it. We had the need, and you are the shining star that will help us put this together. And it's not going to be done, the next week. I guess what I'm saying is, as you work together, possibly our next meeting, you can give us a little more update of what's happening on that. So we're not going to have a final solution on that thing just for a while, but it's very important. So gather your
Carla,
information.
Carla, if you could meet with Sharon and Jason, that would be great.
Yes.
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay.
Great. Okay, fantastic. Very good. Thank you. I appreciate the comments on that. Another item in Steve Dimberg, we were talking about Steve Dimberg's 40-second Skull Valley video. And I know at this point, morning, Paul. The issue came up in the video. We all loved his 40-second video, what he was doing. But one issue was that there was the cost of music. And Steve sent us a invoice if we're to use them, and it was like $54.15 for usage rights. And of course, at this time, we were not aware, at least he said it was, that if we have music in any of our videos, there's additional cost, and it's called usage rights from Triple Scoop. Possibly in this case here. So what we did at this point, I said, no, we had not approved any additional expenses. Aware of it. So we pulled the video at this point. So the comments I want to make is we have usage rights. Do we need music for the video? I happen to like it, but Jason, maybe you can just say what we have done at this point until either we approve the cost of the music rights or don't have it. Jason, do you have a comment on that, please?
I can add to this. Yeah, this was kind of a surprise. Steve sent us this video. We uploaded it to the website, linked it to our Facebook and other social media platforms. And he comes back and says, hey, there's a royalty fee. I really would have thought this would have been covered out of his $8,000 fee. But however, as I had mentioned to Gordon, as we are late in the year, the budget that was approved by council for this year that ends here in just a few days, $17,385, and actually the marketing department or marketing committee, excuse me, has spent $17,634. So there's an overage of $249. So next month, I know we're going to be talking about the budget here in a few minutes, but as the council goes to approve next year's marketing budget, they will also need to address this overage through an amendment. But make a long story short, marketing is out of money. So really are not in a position to do anything else as far as paying for this royalty fee.
The comment is we have the funds, we just don't have the money that were approved by the city council. So the funds are there. You'll find out.
Yeah, there's two different things going on. Number one,
Right.
there's going to be a carryover. I know we're going to talk about this in a minute, of about $7,000 in the marketing checking account. But yeah, there's no more approved funds to be spent for the rest of this year.
So the question comes up, marketing committee, about, yes, do we approve it? Do we, or next year, do we want music along with the videos that Steve has made? I happen to like them. Does it make a difference at all? Jamie, do you have a chance to look at that 40-second video? And
I have not the most recent one. I haven't looked at it, so I don't know what the music is you're talking about. I'll need to look at that.
okay.
Does the music slow down people's computers? You know, there's some questions like that I would think about. Will people turn the music off? This is a one-time fee, correct? One-time royalty fee of $50-something.
That's correct. Yes.
It's not an annual fee or something like that.
Yes.
Does that fee apply to a website, and we could pull music from it for 100 videos if we were going to do it? Does it allow you a royalty fee to just go in there and use music from it as needed?
As I understand it, again, I've author, in this case here, with usage rights from Triple Scoop just for that particular video, that 40-second video. It depends
So I
on the
think
music.
that's too much money for one thing that's going to go up on our website and will be rotated off, and then you got to pay that again. Surely there's a place that you could pay a one-time fee or an annual fee of $50 or whatever and use unlimited, get unlimited money.
It's
Maybe we
basically,
can get Sharon to investigate that. Jamie, I agree. I think that's a little steep. Sharon, could you investigate, is there some free source of music that we could use with our videos?
I will certainly do that. I don't know that it would be free, but the one-time fee thing may apply. It's just, everyone's trying to make money off of their product. So I
Right.
understand where it comes from, but I'll certainly dive in and see what I can do.
That'd be
I
great.
notice on Instagram particularly
Uh,
that there's music by a lot of, excuse me, a lot of reels. And
Yeah.
then up at the top, it says, save this music.
Yeah.
So, anybody can save it. There must be some site that is either free or a nominal fee or annual or something like that, that we would have access to music.
Yeah, and it really depends on the kind of music that you're looking for or what you want to create. You can create music for free whenever you're working with people who, for example, know how to play the piano and want to put something soft behind images. But if you have a lot of photographs of people and then you're mixing that with landscapes and other, it becomes a little more difficult to apply the background of music to images.
Is it not possible to list it as, I've seen with videos just on Facebook that it says, we do not own the rights to this music, and it's just presented, but we don't have to pay a fee because we've acknowledged that we don't own it. Is it because it's a city thing that we would have to own it?
How do we know?
I think that Steve is just using copyrighted music. There's actually an organization called ASCAP. I'm not going to pretend that it's basically an association of composers, songwriters, etc. This Triple Scoop is probably just an entity that pays into that, but he's using copyrighted music and they expect to get paid for their use of that material. So to me, I really think it should be back on Denver to if he's going to use music, he either needs to use music that's not copyrighted or let us know up front, because we put that up and then we had to immediately take it down. So, and he shared with us that he shared that with us after the fact. So not to put the ball back in his court, but I just feel like that for what we paid him, we've got this material that we've paid for as far as these images, but because he added this copyrighted music, we can't use it unless we pay for it. And I feel like it probably should have been part of the deal, but that's just my thoughts.
Right. Again, what he was saying here, the email was sent to me. I was told in order to have music in the videos, unless it was music that had already been purchased and had and paid the usage rights for Skywood, would have to be purchased rights to use the music. So you have to have a purchase rights. But as in this case here, we don't know. It's probably hard, Jason, in this case, not knowing what kind of music we're going to have and so forth, and the cost of it. But certainly I could look at it, or in this case, if there's an area of cost for this thing that Aaron, maybe you could, or it would be an additional item. But back to my original comment here is, do we want to use this 40-second video? At this point, we're not using the 40-second video because we have a cost of $55. So at this point, we can use the video, but the video, we'd have to remove the music. So the comment I have at this time, we still want to use this Fall Fest video and everything, the wonderful things about it. You look at it, do we delete the music at this point? We're not using video.
If I'd have to go back to my emails, but from one of my last conversations or last emails from Denberg, or it may have been Doug, was that he was going to go back and redo the video and remove the music. But I don't recall receiving anything.
No, he
beyond
hasn't
that.
done. No, I haven't asked him to do that at this point because I thought we would discuss it with the marketing committee if, in this case, they wanted to add the music or not. I mean, we'd have to pay for it. So that's really discussion.
Paul, how are you at singing?
Not very. But this is really an interesting conversation. And
Yes.
I think if you start with the video and look at what you've got, and the best option probably is to create your own music and own it. And it doesn't have to be the Atlanta Symphony. You know, it can be it can be anything. I unfortunately am going to run to the anniversary luncheon, and I've got to take a shower, so I'm going to catch everybody later.
Okay.
And thanks for the very, very great meeting, and I certainly would be in to approve any budget resolution you have.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
I guess it's back to if we have the people to do it, that's wonderful. You know, at this point, we were relying on, in this case here, Steve, to add it. But if we had a group that could do it, and look
I
at
would say maybe we get the music off of there and we
Okay.
use the video without the music. And
Okay.
then as we are working together, Sharon, that when we're getting all this up to speed and right, then we can go in and add. I know that I feel like that we'll be able to figure that out.
Okay,
Go back
great.
and add the music that we want to add and research it enough to know whether we're going to have to pay for it or how we're going to pay for it. What do you think about that?
I like Jim. Jim, you had a chance to listen to, look at the video, listen to the music. Your comments.
My comment's not worth much. I'd like to have music to it. Personally, they filmed Last of the Mohicans up in the Smoky Mountain National Park, and I think for some of the scenery, maybe something like that could fit to it. But I'm just an amateur at this. I have no idea what's really going to work.
I think at this point, then we'll leave it. I'll get hold of Steve and say, redo the video, 40-second video, it's ours, and then we'll work on the music. We'll pay the $50 at this point. I hear from the committee. With all that, I love the video, I love the music. At this point, the committee will decide on the music.
Gordon, I agree with Jamie. I think we need to go ahead and use the video. I think it's a good video, and even without music, the music does enhance it, but it's not necessary to have, and it's only 40 seconds. So it's not like somebody looking at pictures, for an hour and they, no music or anything. So I suggest we go ahead and use the video as it is. And if we're able to put music with it at some point in time, that'd be a good thing.
Comments for the rest of the committee?
Steve didn't take that video, did he, Gord? That's not Steve's video.
That's our video. It's just Steve said he could change it, and I haven't asked him to change it until I discussed it with the committee. So
No, but he did not take the video.
No, we have the video. And,
Yeah.
the video.
No. Who actually produced the video?
Steve,
Steve
and-
video?
No. I don't think he did because we had to hire another photographer since he was out of the country.
Well, Steve produced the video with Dave. They went ahead and put it together. So it's Steve's video. And again, that's our video. He put it together. That's part of his contract.
So that was Steve's video from the lady that actually took the pictures.
That was part of it. He had videos from all of his collection of videos that he took and photos. He put it together. Yes.
But
So
that was part of his product that he produced that he was paid for under his contract.
Correct.
That is correct.
Okay.
That is correct. That is correct. So I'm going to do at this point, ask Steve to go ahead and send us the new video based without the music. at this
Good
point. Okay, and then we'll use it. And we'll get it back online, because in this case here, Jason, you removed it from, the line. Okay, Jason, and that's, I'll follow up with them, and we'll get the video, the 40-second video without music. Okay?
Sounds good.
Very
I'm gonna
good. Thank
have to leave too pretty soon, Gordon, just letting you know ahead.
Yes, great, very good. Well, thank you. It's it's a lot of very good discussion. Sorry taking longer, but it's great. These are wonderful things. Yeah, in terms of, and Sharon, you're going to be really a tremendous help for us, putting this all together. Essentially, we just never had the expertise to do it. Okay, any other questions before we go on? In terms of the Sky Valley marketing budget, this will be another item. The basic reason for the meeting. Did you all get the updated, I sent an updated draft in terms of the budget. Have you all had a chance to look at it? And what we're going to do now, we're going to vote on it, but I want to go through it. So does everyone have a copy in hand that we can just briefly go through the budget, interrupt me anytime you wish. Please have questions. As I'm going to just ramble on here, it's pretty hard because we're going to try to do these things on Zoom, but I'll try the best I can. So interrupt me, say, Gordon, you're going too fast, too slow. What I'm going to start again is the draft. This is the draft. What we're going to try to do here is review it, questions, and then I'd like at the end to get approval. And the idea of this budget is that we have it approved and submitted to the city council in the January meeting, so that we'll have a whole year to work on the budget. We'll have all our expenses aligned and to get approval from the city. So I'm going to start off again, looking at the draft budget is that the carryover fund, we project for 2023, we'll have a $3,000 carryover fund. Then I'm going to go through, now we have monetary contributions. And the very good news is that we have commitments from the city of Sky Valley of 5,000, the POA, 5,000. Thank you, POA, for stepping up for the 5,000. The club, 5,000. So we have a total commitment, in this case here, of contributions of 15,000. Then in terms of checking account, based on Jason's latest carryover, we're going to have about a $7,000 carryover, give or take a few dollars. Jason, is that reasonably accurate at this point? 7,000?
Yes, Gordon, it looks like the Doug Hollingsworth's December check, I haven't checked it this morning, it had not cleared, but about $7,100 in carryover. With those commitments, I know for the sake of time, I'll rush through this. Around $22,000 should be it once the city contributes to 5,000, the 5 from the POA and 5,000 from the club. So that would give you about $22,000 for going into next year once those funds have been received and deposited.
Right. So that's good. So we have the solid numbers to work with. Now, what we want to do is go out to the projected of the year. If we take that 22,000, then we're going to say for this year, we're going to have a carryover of 2023, 3,000. So we're going to have a carryover. So we have a sufficient amount of money going into 2024 of $3,000. So we have funds available for marketing expenses of 19,000. So that's essentially what we have available to spend. Now, at this point, we're going to look at expenses. We're going to try to do this year is we're categorizing expenses instead of individuals. What the city council that we will approve the expenses by category so that we have a little flexibility within them. Say one is instead of if it goes over $1 more, then we have a problem with the city. So what we're looking at is the city council approve it by and individually by a category. So the first category is communications. And under communication, we have golf life. And golf life, I strongly believe in what he's doing, golf life. In this case here, the last 3 years, in 2001, 2022, he has not increased its fee, $9,000. So he has not increased his fees at all. So we're the same amount for the last 3 years. So golf life in this case would be $9,000, and that would be a year contract. I have not received his, he'll send in the contract at this point. We just wanted to make sure we got approval. It won't be an issue at all, but it'll be a year contract, $60 per month. Any comments on that at all in terms of communications? Now that total communication would be 9,000. The next item would be advertising. We have Travcon, we have Mountain Lake Publishing, Clayton Tribune, and essentially I've talked to them, they added in 10% or so. So if we take the total, Mountain Lake Publishing was 1,455 is $1,500. Mountain Lake Publishing, Clayton Tribune was $1,190, 1,090. So we got a total subtotal advertising of $2,690. This in 2022 was 2,645. So that has been adjusted for the additional cost. So any questions on that? So in terms of advertising, we have $2,690. I don't see anything else adding any other publications at this point. Then we get down to professional services. Steve Dingberg Photography. This year it was $8,000, and I don't propose adding them in the budget, but I have a second in terms of other photography, and I put in $1,000. So in this case here, the estimate is if we have something and we want to come in there, let's say the additional cost was $500, we're talking $400 shoot that we were doing. So if I had two shootings in there, it'd be $1,000. So I'm just calling it other photography. Any comments on that at all?
Would
Do
we
you
need
think-
to add some sort of music fees there once we figure out if there are any?
And you have that, very good comment on it, to Sharon. No, I did not. She was charging like $400 in terms of Fall Fest. And I know she was charging, in this case, share, this was for Steve. So I took that number. So no, I don't have that in that number. I don't know. It just come up. It's a good question. So at this point,
Okay.
there's not, I don't know how much it would be in terms of a cost of music. Sorry, I don't have that. I just took a number and says, this is something, we have some flexibility. If we had additional photography, so I put in $1,000.
Okay.
I think that needs to be raised, Gordon, because we might have storage fees, we might have and another photographer taking pictures and music and so forth. So do you have an option of increasing that?
We'll look at that. Let's put a circle around that, and we'll go back down at the end. So we'll go back to that comment there. Okay, going back, yes, there is an option, but let's go to the next item, which would be subtotal general supplies and materials. And you'll see here, we got the cost of goodie bags, hay bale materials. Essentially, that general supplies and materials at $600. Cost of goodie bags this year was $180. I increased it to $300 for 2023. Hay bale materials was additional $239. I increased that to $300. So general supplies and materials is $600, where this 2022 is $420. So a little bit of money, just enough to cover it at this point.
Okay, Gordon, on
So-
the line item for the cost of goodie bags, I think you've got a little typo in there. It's for or of.
Let me see. Cost of goodie bags. Okay, where's it certainly could be a typo. Where do you see it, Jim?
Or it's cost or goodie bags.
Or, okay, I see
No.
it, Jim. Cost.
Okay,
Cost
I just
of-
mentioned it because it's going to council and we don't want anybody to.
Thank you. It should be cost of goodie bags. In this case, it's a minimal amount of money. Maybe in this case, Jamie, you could add on that because you were involved in that.
Well, I would, that $180 was for the cheapest thing we could come up with. It cost a whole lot more to do something nice. So, $300 is getting better. And I don't know that we want to spend.
Right.
Gordon, I would like to also, since we have our city hall is being refurbished and we're going to have Sharon there to be heading up our visitor center, I think it would be nice for the marketing committee to think about having goodie bags for our new residents so they can come in, sign paperwork, and receive a goodie bag that would have, you know, advertising in it and meetings, groups, and so forth. So I think I would like to consider you all to consider doing that.
I think that sounds good. Also, since we're going to have that road front welcome center, do we want to put some t-shirts in there for sales?
Right.
Maybe we sell some goodie bags. Maybe we generate some money that could go back into buying
Right.
goodie bags and
Yeah, we'd like swag, you know, Sky Valley swag to be in there also. Yeah, we've talked about that too.
Mayor, that's an excellent idea. Said Jamie, at this time, I know most of that was not cost. You put together the real estate stuff. Maybe you give it an estimate, the cost of the bags. In this case, that would be significant. Of course, that was for the golf vision. What was the cost if you just had additional bags? Remember what it was?
well, what this paid for was those see-through plastic bags that were not logoed whatsoever. Just the cheapest thing we could find to get in a hurry. So for a nice goodie bag, it would be nice to have a printed logo bag and buy in bulk and buy ahead of time so that we don't scramble and, you know, end up having to do something like that. But,
Right.
you know, having enough to buy in bulk and maybe selling some ancillary products there at the Welcome
Right.
Center. We could use that and put that into an account to further buy marketing materials in the way of bags and shirts and mugs and whatever.
What did it cost? I remember the cost of the bags it was so high, we couldn't do it. Do you remember just off your head what the cost of those bags were?
With a logo, you know, and I'm sure I was looking at the minimum, which was probably 200 to 250.
Yeah.
You know, we're talking $1,000 or a little
Right.
bit more than that. I'm not 1,000, 500 or a little bit more than that.
We think of it 100.
250 is a whole lot more than we need, but you know, we might put some of those out and sell them. If they're
Yeah.
canvas, if they're nice little totes.
And they include, and the contents of it were, a lot of it was free, gratis materials from real estate information. And I think we had some gifts that came from the club, correct?
Yeah, a golf tee and a poker chip
Right.
came from
Right.
the club, but most everything else was donated. You know, it was
Yeah.
flyers, and the Welcome Center gave me a nice package of county information to put in there. And I think we had the Laurel book. We had a book of some sort. So it was that kind of thing that didn't cost anything, but
Right. It was
the
all,
bags cost, and they were, you know, cheap.
Yeah. I'd like for us to consider doing some really nice brochures about Sky Valley and have that as part of this welcome, you know, bag for our new residents. Talking about all the different groups, the garden club and the club, and you know, what's available in Sky Valley. So I guess, Jason, you'll have to figure out who would be doing that, if that would be Sharon or I don't know.
good idea.
I'll just say real quick, I know the meetings were time, but we did some gift bags for the Fall Fest. And I think it was around $5 or $7 in that per bag. And it was an attractive fall themed bag. We had some Sky Valley logo decals put on. And I think we gave away, there was 4 or 5 things. It was like a little jar of honey, some chapstick, some hand sanitizer, some other things. And we put those decals on those individual items, and they were well received. And so just something to think about.
So cost wise, what are you looking at if we go down to the bottom here, if you have any money? idea per bag? You need 100 bags, 200 bags, or for the golf tournament?
For
I don't-
goodie bags, Jordan, I'm sorry, I was listening to something else in the back of the house. How many do we need? Was that your question?
Yeah, the question is that we had 100 for, and this would come up with the club, in this case, Roberta, 100 that we are using goodie bags. So if we are estimated, just an idea number wise, it'd probably be significantly higher if we had guests coming in and so forth, or maybe in this case, as Holly was said, it would be just for possibly new residents. So I guess we're trying to get an idea of numbers.
Well, and the
I
other
think
thing
we ought to
is,
at least do the minimum 250 to start with. Once you get the logo created, you don't have the cost of preparing the logo, and then you can reorder at a less expensive cost.
and if we had some really nice canvas tote bags with our logo on it, that also might be a swag item that people might want to purchase.
Yeah, that's what I was talking about, having them
Yeah.
at the hanging, next to the t-shirts
Right.
for sale.
For
Gordon,
sale.
I am sorry, but I have got to leave the meeting.
Okay.
With the, I go along with the budget, but I definitely agree with Holly that under other photography, that needs to be raised for sure.
Okay.
Now, if Jamie leaves, Karen, do we still have a quorum to vote?
Is Jamie at this point part of the other comment goes on is Jamie's, I'm sorry.
I don't know that I have a voting.
Sorry, I didn't realize.
that's
I was
right.
muted.
Yes.
But, yeah, Jamie's not a voting member anymore.
Right. So do we have a quorum?
Yes.
I'm going to leave shortly also, so I
Better hurry
suggest
and do
maybe
your
we just
business.
I want to wrap this
make
thing
a
up.
real
Let's-
quick decision on the budget.
No, it's very important we get this thing approved. Okay, so
agree.
going,
For the
yes,
sake of time, can I just take about 30 seconds on the budget that Mike could
Sure.
wrap things up? Jordan and I talked about this. The budget request is $17,390. The recommendation I've given to Gordon that the committee should consider is, instead of getting really specific, have categories like we have with our budget. You budget 9,000 for communications. Obviously, that's earmarked for Steve. For Doug, but you have flexibility. You budget 2,690 for advertising. You budget 1,000 for professional services. Then you budget 600 for supplies, and then the other 3,100 for other entities, and 1,000 miscellaneous. You request the council to approve this with the flexibility to spend that money based on those categories. You just don't go over. So with real quick, with $1,000 for professional services, you may decide that you want to use 500 for photographer. That leaves 500 else. So I think that would be the way to approach this.
thank you,
budget.
Jason.
If
And
the
that's the comment.
17,000 is comfortable with y'all. Yeah.
Thank you, Jason. That's the comments. To go back to promotions, you notice I added golf, fall fest and golf tournament, and then meals and housing under promotion. So it came out to $3,100. So the promotion, we can move that around based on Jason. We had 3 categories, we had 3 items within it, but it would be Sky Valley promotions, and that could be moved around, right, Jason's? We have $3,100, so that if one item or another, we decided we want to change it, we have the flexibility, what happening to go to the city council. Now, the final one was miscellaneous. I added $1,000 to that miscellaneous for unexpected expenses. And they say, the idea behind that is that if something comes up and we need to have an immediate answer, the committee could approve it without having to go to the city council for additional approval. So you see that miscellaneous was a final added. So there's $1,000 that's in that. Just example, we might have another T-shirt that comes in, and it's $400. Well, that could be under promotions, and then the committee could approve that, and then go on and have that at expense without having to go to the city council, which adds maybe a month or two.
Yeah.
And there would flexibility. Yes, and I know probably city council would be happy about that too. So it's giving us a little more flexibility. We're not going out, and the committee would have to approve it. It's not like Holly's gonna go out and, or Jim or myself gonna go out and have a nice dinner somewhere. It's not that. It's anything to do with marketing expenses, but it would have to be approved by the committee before it can be done. But we could act on things pretty quickly if something come up, such as maybe music. In this case here, it would have been the music for the video. Well, in this case, I could have approved that, or the committee goes, yeah, we like that. That's a good idea. Let's put it in there, even though it's only $50. We didn't have to go to the city
Right,
council.
Gordon, I didn't have your draft in front of me. So it's 9,000 for communication, 2,690 for advertising, 1,000 for professional services, 600 for general supplies and materials,
That's
and
correct.
$3,100 for miscellaneous.
No, Sky Valley promotion is $3,100. And under
That's
Sky Valley,
promotion. Okay,
Promotions for 3,100.
Sky
Okay.
Valley promotions. And under there, you got the Fall Fest T-shirt donation of
Yeah.
$350. Golf tournaments, we call tournaments, of $1,250. And then meal and housing and media visits, $1,500. So we don't know what that is at this case. So we have subtotal Sky Valley promotions of $3,100.
all right. If I add all those up, I only get 16,390. Where's the other thousand?
Then we're coming up with the miscellaneous, the final one.
Okay,
we're-
that's
That's
it.
the
Okay,
next.
thank you.
So that comes out to, if we add that in, our total expenses is would be 17,300.
390. Okay,
And then last year, this year, we had 21,000. And then 2020, we had 24. So city council, reducing our expenses, you can see. But
Yeah.
in terms of the end, if we have funds available, even after 17,390, we still have funds available, the marketing expenses of $1,610. So there's still additional revenues available over and over. So that we could take that and if we wish, we could take that $1,610 and put it into our budget in terms of allocated expenses, or we could use that as a fund that if we needed something else, then we'd have to go to the city council for approval.
all right, I understand. Okay.
Does that make sense?
Well, are you going to increase the budget for the professional services or leave it as is and just use the overage?
At this point, I'm not doing anything until you want to look. I could increase professional services, and then that would come out of the $1,610. So at this point, we have $17,390 expenses. And we have a carryover of $1,610. So we could take some, edit it out and just, instead of have less carryover, we could assign it to a group. We could do that now. So as Mary's, if you wanted to add for photography, $1,500 more or $500 more, we could do that very easily for miscellaneous in terms of music.
If you allocate, if you put that instead of $1,000 miscellaneous, if you put the 1610 in there and had 2610 under miscellaneous, then it could be used for any category that we needed.
We could, I would ask, would the city council give us that leeway? I'm not sure. That I
Okay.
don't know. Maybe that's too much money and we want to be involved. I was just using a lower number. Maybe
maybe-
going in there. That's
maybe-
just a,
Maybe you could take the $1,610 and split it up among the ones that we've had discussions on, because I'm assuming you can put some in the professional services, which would give you a little bit more in that category. And also, it seems to me the general supplies and materials and the Sky Valley promotions, you could increase both of those a little bit, because those seem to be the areas where you're going to want those promotional t-shirts and mugs and all that. They can come under general supplies and materials, or it could come under Sky Valley promotions. You could go with either one of those,
okay.
because
I'm
I'm assuming by doing general categories, you're not limited under general supplies and materials for hay bale materials or the cost of goodie bags.
That is correct.
Those
Yeah.
were used just to create the budget and what was used the previous year. So the Sky Valley Promotions would take care of t-shirts, mugs, and that. General supplies and materials would take care of the cost of goodie bags and giveaways inside the goodie bags and all that. I mean, either one, it could actually, those things could go under either one of those categories. So if there's concern, if there's a concern about having this, you know, too much of a miscellaneous without the council knowing specifically what you want to use it
Yes.
for, I would take that and put some into maybe 610 into professional services and put 500 more each into general supplies and materials and 500 into Sky Valley Promotions.
Okay. Let's look at it here.
And I think there could be justification based on the new Welcome Center and the idea of truly promoting Sky Valley and providing information to people coming to Sky Valley about goods and services and opportunities and activities and that.
Comments? I like
I was
the
just going to
comments.
say, for the sake of time, I think the important thing when you present this to the council next month is the $17,390. And of course, request the flexibility to move things around. You can always have a meeting to do what we call intra-fund moves. For example, with the general fund budget, the council approves a total amount. Some costs are static, we know what they are. Some costs is best case, is trending. We can do intra-fund moves when we move money from one line item to another, as long as it does not impact the total bottom amount. So I think the thing here is, for the sake of discussion and time and focus, the budget is $17,390. As you get into the marketing campaign for next year, you may find that you want to spend $9,500 in communications. Well, you've got to take 500 from someplace else. You take that to a vote by the marketing committee, and then you report it at the next council meeting what you've done, and you just move on.
Yeah, Jason, I think what we want to take I understand total expenses in lieu of 17,390, we want to add additional $1,610 into total expenses. So
I think that's right.
Yes.
Your budget, your funds available are $19,000.
Right.
So you want your expenses to match what your budget is.
Right. So we want to allocate funds available to all expenses to it. It comes up to $19,000 in lieu of 7. Yes. So we'll add it. Jason, are we making sense here? So our total expenses would be 19,000. Correct?
Well, correct me if I'm wrong, but we have a carryover of $7,100, and with all the donations for next year, that brings us up to $22,100.
Correct.
Correct? So if we had in the budget $17,390, we have a carryover of $4,700.
Yes, that is correct.
Okay.
Roughly.
So we're saying to add how much more to the 17,390? Did you say, Roberta?
$1,610, because you come up to 22,000 as your contributions and carryover balance, and then you a 2023 carryover balance of 3,000.
Correct.
So that's the 19. That's the budget funds available.
Okay.
And so out of those funds available, we want our expenses to consume all of our funds available for 2023, considering we've already allocated 3,000 for next year's carryover.
Yes.
So I think the expenses should total 19,000.
I agree. Then we don't have to go back to the city council for additional approval, even though the funds are available. Yes.
Exactly.
Yes. So
is there a recommended carryover by the state, Jason, or is that up to us?
I'm not aware of anything like that. No, it's just,
okay.
So I guess for the sake of a vote here today to move this to the council for a final decision, you're asking instead of 17,390, you're now asking for $19,000.
That is correct.
All right, yeah.
Yeah, that is correct.
All right, well, if y'all want to take that to a vote, Gordon, I think you could,
Yeah,
you could
and
you
I'll
give
send
us,
it back.
yeah, revised, yeah, give us a revised, the breakdown after this meeting. We can, that way we can take that to the council. But I think it's important to get a vote here now for the 19,000.
Right.
If that's what you want, so we can take that to the council.
Yeah.
Just have one comment that this is the real reason why I got on this call. And I'm going to make it very fast because I know you're trying to hurry, but you're committing $20,000 to the marketing committee. And I'm going to follow up with an email to the mayor and to Jason. And I've already spoken to Holly about my concerns, but I don't know if any of you are monitoring what the Planning and Zoning Commission is doing about short-term rentals. And
Yes.
it has whatever we decide there. I realize it's not finalized in any way, but whatever that committee does and the council approves regarding short-term rentals has a significant impact on the marketing of Sky Valley. It's all good and well for people to come there, but if we limit how many can stay and when they can stay and where they can stay, and it makes it more expensive because of things that are enacted, then you're kind of shooting yourself in the foot. So again, I'm going to follow up in writing with my concerns, but I just wanted to put that out there so that you guys read that ordinance and then monitor what they're doing and work in tandem with planning and zoning. I'm very aware of the issues, but it's right now it's sledgehammer to kill a gnat, and I think it will backfire. It has the potential to backfire on what marketing is doing. That's my comment. And then I said, follow written response.
Yeah, thank you. Yeah, Sharon, I've been involved in it. And I think it actually be more positive. I think in long term, I think it will be a more positive thing what the city is doing, trying to control it so that short-term rental does not get something out of hand. Having something that's very, very welcome and something that's good that short-term people want. The short-term industry and the owner. So I see it as very positive talking to people that are current VRBOs that want to do the right things, and just a few maybe outliers out there. But by and large, I think what the city is trying to do will be a positive thing for people that want to come here, because they don't want to have the issue where a short-term rental, it's chaos. And
correct.
You can get that. So in this case here, you're just trying to have a little control of it, and I'll make it better instead of, so I think it's the idea.
But it also has the potential to not be positive. So again, I'm going to follow up with my comments in writing, but I just wanted to put that out there.
I just sense it the opposite. It's going to be a positive thing for Sky Valley. Yeah. And in terms of back, we'll see. But back to the, thank you for your comments on that.
Gordon, do you need a motion?
Yeah, I'd like to have a motion now based on, I'm gonna send it out, updated, but the motion will be, we approve in terms of our budget. It will have, in terms of a total funds available for our 19,000. And then in terms of expenses are 19,000, and that'll be the proposal that we'll send on to the city council. And I will send out updated where we're going to take that $1,610 and then I'll put that in terms of promotions. So the total expenses will then equal 19,000.
Okay. And so I would move that we send for approval to the city council, the marketing committee budget, which includes funds available for marketing expenses of $19,000. And the total expenses for the marketing committee 23 at $19,000.
I second the motion.
Okay. Very good. Committee, any discussion? Vote. Committee, let's have a vote. All in favor of the motion, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone against? Okay, Very good. Very good. Thank you very much. As a follow-up, I will send the updated changes and not in the budget. Okay, the final, in terms of our, is there any other business that we have? Sorry, any other business we should be discussing?
Next meeting date.
Next meeting date, I've got January the 26th. Does that
Great.
work out for everyone?
Sounds good.
Very good. Well, committee, thank you. I expected it to be a short meeting. I'm sorry, for half an hour, we got longer, but it was a great meeting. Thank you for all of your comments. And I'm looking forward to working with the committee. Next year, I think we have lots of good things. We really got things laid out, good plan laid out. And we wish everyone, again, Happy New Year. If I don't see you, I'm up in Sky Valley. And Holly, you take care of too yourself.
Thank you.
Thank you, Gordon. Do you need a motion to adjourn?
Happy
Yes,
New Year.
yes, is a motion to adjourn.
Okay.
Okay, do I hear a motion to adjourn?
So moved.
So moved. Second.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank
Bye-bye,
you.
everybody.
Meeting
Year.
over. Thank you much.
Bye-bye.
Bye.